Okay. And then from 8 to 11:30, that's when you start kind of focusing on your homework.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. So here I see a little pattern going on. I mean, I've been doing this for a really long time. So it seems to me you kind of tend to procrastinate, which is something that students often do because, you're at school for so many
I'm
hours.
here all day.
Yeah. And so you go home and you just want to hang out and lounge. But technically, we can kind of reduce this a little bit for you to be a little bit more effective with your time management. I mean, what do you think?
I think I could probably be more focused, and maybe
Right.
that's part of the problem. I know you had suggested doing this activity last week, and last week I was like, no, I think I have it under control.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I remember in junior high we had an agenda,
Right.
and so I mean,
Yeah, do you have an agenda this year?
I do, kind of. I mean, I don't really use it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, so one of the things that I was also thinking about doing with you is actually giving you an agenda, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit later on. What I kind of want to do is kind of focus right now on this layout to see how we can kind of reduce some of that time that we kind of spending not being productive, I would say. I mean, I get it. You want to hang out with your brother, but it seems like we can kind of cut down that a little bit, especially I think with cooking dinner with your mom. I think that's a really cool thing that you're able to help her out with it. But how do you think she would react if you were to kind of talk to her and see if maybe you can kind of help her out 2 days out of the week, maybe 1 day out of the week for you to kind of focus on school? Because I know your parents, I've talked to them before, and their priority,
yes,
her priority is
school. She's always like, I'm willing to do whatever you need me to do to make sure that you're successful in school.
Right.
And I think that's part of the reason why she's upset, because she's like,
right. Yeah, because she wants you to succeed in school. She knows the workload that you have going on. So I feel like dealing with students like you, I feel like you might be kind of in a way using it as an excuse not to start your homework late, because I know that you can get good grades in your 4 AP classes. So how would you feel about, what can we do about kind of reducing some of that time that you spend helping your mom clean and cook dinner?
So maybe instead of doing 2 hours, I could probably do an hour.
Okay, or
maybe I can come down and eat dinner and then help her clean up. Okay. And then maybe on Fridays I can help her.
Right. Yeah, the weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you that homework to talk to her and let her know, and you better do it, babe, because if not, I'm gonna go ahead and contact her tomorrow and see if she had this conversation with you, because I'm also gonna suggest to her that I think it's really important that you kind of limit that time, because you are very, very busy girl, and I think that's a great idea for you to kind of help her out with dinner on Friday, where you can have some more additional time on the weekend.
Okay.
How does that sound? So that's step number 1.
Okay.
Talk to mom.
I'll talk to my mom.
Okay.
I know she's gonna be fine with it. It's just
you just don't want to do
it. I like it. I like cooking dinner. I don't like doing my calculus homework.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree, but unfortunately, you are gifted and you can do it. I know you don't like calculus. I know it's hard and I know it sucks, but you'll thank me once you graduate, right? And you're ahead of the game, ahead of everybody else. Another thing, what can we do about limiting your distractions at the end of the night from 8 to 11:30 when you have the TV on, when you have the radio blasting, when you're on your phone? What can we do to make you focus on your homework a little bit more?
Well, I guess I could turn it off.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I could even maybe set aside time. Okay, if I finish my homework, then I could watch something or.
I like that. So a little reward system within yourself. What I like to do is say, for example, you know what, I'm going to work hard on my homework without any device, without any technology for an hour. Okay. I'll take a 15-minute break. I'll check my Instagram or the chat or whatever you guys are using for about 15 minutes, Snapchat for 15 minutes, and then you get back to homework. Okay. Because one of the things that I noticed today and age is, students are just refreshing, reloading, or whatever it is, to see if people have liked their picture, and they just do it so constantly. I know, but I mean, you're an AP student. You need to kind of focus a little bit more on your academics. So reward yourself by giving yourself those 15-20 minutes after you work really, really hard for an hour.
Okay.
You think that's possible?
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard. I guess I could just put it on silent.
And like I said, I'm going to talk to your mom tomorrow
Okay.
and let her know that I suggested to you. So she's also going to be checking with me because you know that she is really, really involved.
Yeah,
And
I know.
she has me on speed dial. So let her know that that's going to be a step of action number 2.
Okay.
So to kind of summarize, we're going to talk to mom today about cutting dinner.
Yes.
Or not helping her out as much because you need to focus on your character. And she's going to let me know that you're doing your homework because then she's going to be like, well, she's not doing anything now. So we'll be definitely checking up on you.
My mom is connected to Blackboard. She looks at
she
my
has her
grades.
password and all that good stuff. So that's really good. We need her to be involved and keep you on check because you have so much potential. And then lastly, step number 2, we're going to turn off our devices.
Yes.
Focus on our homework. And then reward yourself with a 15-20 minute break, depending on how much you get done. Right? Okay. So that's the plan of action. Now, going to your how to kind of help you fix your schedule and be a little bit more organized. I purchased you this planner. I really want you to have this in handy. A plan that I would like to have with you is for you to write down all your homework assignments, all your classwork assignments, and for you to check in every Friday just to make sure that you have them written down, because one of the things that I've been talking to your mom about is that you don't write things down, so you forget. And I know that that's true because you're missing those 8 assignments in Mr. Rodriguez's class. So I'm going to give you this as homework.
It's like my freshman seminar class last year.
Yes, it is. But at the same time, you'll thank us once you put this plan into effect. So I'm going to give you this planner. It's set up in a beautiful way where you have the whole month. You write down your homework assignments, and I'll check in and I'll make sure that you're doing your homework because it's okay if you need a little bit of help. That's why we're here, and I will be more than happy to be checking your binder and signing you out so your mom knows that we are checking up on you and we're not just letting you slip.
You're gonna do binder checks?
Yes, absolutely.
Not 5.
Until you show us and you bump up your grades.
Okay.
Then we'll kind of give you a little bit more leeway, but you have to earn it, right?
That's fine. I'll do it.
Does that work?
Yeah, no. Okay. I mean, I think it'll work. I think you're right. I think like the gadgets are probably pretty distracting. I think the phone is probably more distracting than anything. And in terms of like helping my mom out or even like managing my time, I'm sure there's ways that I could like do things better. Like you were saying, I talk a lot in Mr. Rodriguez's class.
Exactly.
I guess I could probably take advantage of the time.
Yes. See, I'm really glad that you're already coming up with solutions to an issue that you had. And sometimes that helps talking about it because you don't realize it in the middle of the day, but when you think about it, there's only 24 hours in the day.
Well, I guess I didn't really realize it until you like made me do that activity of writing out my schedule and maybe
that's when we did it. Yeah. So that's the plan of attack. Like I said,
you want me to check in with you tomorrow for a binder check or next week?
You know what? I'm going to give you a week and a half.
Okay.
So we'll check in next Friday. Today's Wednesday, so we'll check in next Friday, see if this is helping you, and I will definitely be checking up on you to see if I can check on Aries to see if your grades have gone up.
Okay.
And that's my number 1 goal is for you to be successful because I know you can do it. I know you can find a way to kind of balance everything out because you've shown it in the past. So
can I still drop an AP if it doesn't work out?
We'll talk about it. That's something that we'll definitely need to discuss again with your teacher. I want to see things change a little bit more in class. Obviously, the talking's been an issue in his class. So we'll talk about it. And if he still thinks that you're struggling, because it's the assignments that are hurting you. You're doing well on the test. It's just your classwork and your homework. So it's one of those things that I'm really reluctant to pull you out because I know that you can do it.
Okay.
It's different if you didn't have the skills to do it and you were definitely way behind than your peers, and I would kind of consider it. I'm not saying to do that. I'm not saying that that's the way out, but I'm saying that, if you were to kind of take this plan into consideration, if things get better, you should be okay.
Okay.
And like I said, it sucks, and I get it. I was young once too. I try to balance everything out. But you'll thank us once you get to school and you don't have to pay for these classes.
I'll thank you once May is over and APs are
and then when you're super rich, you can come back and buy me a car and thank me. How does that sound?
Okay.
All right, babe. So I'll see you next Friday.
Yes, and I'll have my binder and I'll work on trying to be more focused.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I'll see you next week.
Okay.
All right.